Alright, what is going on YouTube? And today we got a brand new Stygian Onslaught video on Genshin Impact. This video happens to be covering the Menacing difficulty. I made it through the first 2 boss fights in Fearless, which is further than I made it last month. I got stuck on the little fox mask wearing thing that does cartwheels all over the place and does bleed damage to your characters. But I'm happy with the progress I made, and I'm hoping that means next month I can make it through all 3 on Fearless. But Menacing wasn't so bad, wasn't so menacing this time around. I was able to beat this boss without even having to use my pyro characters. I think I accidentally used Jingling on, right here, I accidentally used Jingling. But for Fearless, I go double Hydro, double Pyro. I think that's the best way to do it. You can probably use an element that isn't Pyro, but I think you're gonna want Hydro either way against this boss. And the reason why I say double Pyro, you're going to want some heavy hitters. You definitely want Jingling, I would say, and then one other Pyro DPS or physical damage DPS. You just want something that doesn't do the elemental damage that it adjusts to and has 100% resistance and immunity against that element. That's why you want 2. You want 2 heavy hitters of Hydro, 2 heavy hitters of another element, and I think Pyro is the best way to do that. I went Hu Tao Jingling for my Pyro and Yalan Jing Q for my Hydro. That's how I rolled with this particular boss fight. Then, against the next 2, you're going to want mostly characters that do a bunch of damage. So for the last one, you're going to want some healing. It's the Fox thing, it jumps all over, does bleed damage, and you're probably going to want a shield too, because it does that thing where it blocks the healing you can do when you're hit, so you want to not get hit as much by it, so it doesn't do the bleed damage that blocks healing. It's super annoying to deal with. It's definitely the hardest one out of this bunch for me, which is pretty unexpected. I thought the first one would have easily been the hardest, but it was actually, in fact, the easiest. But for the next 2, it's kind of important that you have some off-field damage dealers, because both of these bosses blip around all over. And it's hard to keep up with if you have a really big single target, like up and close, kind of clunkier style of combat on here. You want something that kind of tracks a little bit, like maybe a bow user. Mavuika's great because she spins around on her bike and can do damage really quickly from lots of different angles. And Furina, because her little Hydro apparatuses can just, you know, do that passive little blipping splash damage here and there. I imagine a well-built Fischl could be pretty good if you have... The Stygian Onslaught is a poor check, is what it is. You gotta remember that. So if you have C6 all the way through and perfect artifacts and best in slot weapons for your teams, you should do good with most different teams you use, to be honest. I'm sure there is a lunar team that would do better against both of these last bosses, but I made it through just using the 3 best teams I had, which is Mavuika, Hu Tao, and Raiden. And I think that's the way to go, because like I said, the Stygian Onslaught really has just become a poor check, seeing how much you've spent on the game. And I think it's annoying, but it's not like anybody's making me do these challenges. It's not like my enjoyment to the game hinges on my ability to beat these bosses. I just feel like I've been playing long enough. I like the rewards. I should be able to clear these, but I digress. But anywho, I'm sure if you have a really well built, say, Ito team, you can make it through. Like Chiori has the off-field damage she does. Hyper Bloom would probably be pretty good. Pretty sure there's some Aggravate or Quicken teams you could use. But all this to say that the more well-built your team is, the better you'll do in Stygian Onslaught, and I'm pretty sure that's the whole point. It can go a little bit against the meta. I feel very confidently that even though most of these teams probably want a well-built lunar team, a perfectly built team that you're seeing me use right here will go further than if I just speed built a lunar team of any kind and just went for every single new Natlan character, or Nodcry character that came out. We already passed the Natlan region. And some of these characters I forgot to switch their artifacts from previous challenges, or the Spiral Abyss. Like, I'm pretty sure on here Sitlali and Sheelanin run the same artifact set because I had Sheelanin on a Raiden team running Hero of Cinder City and Sitlali on my Hutao team running Hero of Cinder City. So I was doubling up on that. And for the longest time I was running the wrong weapons on Chevreuse and Mavwika. Now I'm only running the wrong weapon on Chevreuse, I do believe. She's supposed to be running Favonius. And I think that's all the mistakes I made. I spent a lot of Mora and a lot of enhancement books on getting the talent levels up of all my characters. Like, Jin Q did not need to have that high of a normal attack, but I wanted any damage I'm weaving in the Fearless mode, when it's only Hydro, to be the most for Yelan and Jin Q. Which, it sucks, but like I said, it's a poor check. It's seeing how much you're willing to spend on your teams. Like, maxed out everything. It's crazy. Everything has to be perfect in the Fearless mode. And those who can pass the Fearless mode, you know, God bless you. That's crazy. I have mad respect for me. But anyway, I hope this was a helpful commentary on the Stygian Onslaught. And good luck on your Stygian Onslaught attempts. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless you. Peace out. I love y'all, and I will see y'all next time.